Two people wake up in the same suburb, same zip code, same access, same economy. One walks through a 2,800 square foot house, quiet kitchen, marble island. A $68,000 SUV sits in the driveway, still warm from yesterday's commute. In the garage, a $4,000 carbon fiber mountain bike hangs untouched. Amazon boxes line the hallway. Everything signals progress. But when the paycheck hits, it disappears. Mortgage, car payment, subscriptions, upgrades. By the end of the month, the account hovers near zero. Some months, it slips below. Each day, nothing is set aside. The future receives no deposit. Across the street, a different pattern. A 1,200 square foot townhouse. Narrow driveway, an 8-year-old sedan with faded paint. No deliveries stacked at the door. Nothing to photograph. But every morning, before email, before news, $25 moves automatically into an index fund. No discussion, no emotion, just repetition. That single action repeats 365 times a year. From the outside, one life looks successful, the other looks average. But there is a number no one sees, not income, not net worth. How much you pay your future self each day, that number decides everything. The first person is not irresponsible. They earn well, they work hard, they did what they were told. Get the degree, get the job, upgrade the life. And it worked on the surface, but the structure they built has a flaw. Every dollar already has a destination. A $2,400 mortgage on a 30-year loan. A $920 SUV payment stretching 60 months. $300 across streaming, apps, and silent subscriptions. Insurance, utilities, property tax. Income comes in, it gets absorbed immediately. There is no gap between what life costs and what life produces. That gap is where wealth lives. Without it, even a $120,000 salary can feel tight. Because the question never changes, can I afford this? Now look at the second person. Same income range, different structure. Housing is smaller, fixed costs are controlled, and before spending begins, money is captured. Not what's left, what's first. The question shifts, not can I afford this, but is this worth reducing my future? This is the uncomfortable truth. High income does not create wealth. Uncaptured income disappears. Every system produces exactly what it's designed to produce. And most people have built a system that consumes everything they earn. The first person is not irresponsible. They earn well, they work hard, they did what they were told. Get the degree, get the job, upgrade the life. And it worked on the surface, but the structure they built has a flaw. Every dollar already has a destination. A $2,400 mortgage on a 30-year loan. A $920 SUV payment stretching 60 months. $300 across streaming, apps, and silent subscriptions. Insurance, utilities, property tax. Income comes in, it gets absorbed immediately. There is no gap between what life costs and what life produces. That gap is where wealth lives. Without it, even a $120,000 salary can feel tight. Because the question never changes, can I afford this? Now look at the second person. Same income range, different structure. Housing is smaller, fixed costs are controlled, and before spending begins, money is captured. Not what's left, what's first. The question shifts, not can I afford this, but is this worth reducing my future? This is the uncomfortable truth. High income does not create wealth. Uncaptured income disappears. Every system produces exactly what it's designed to produce. And most people have built a system that consumes everything they earn. Most people measure money the wrong way. They think in months. They think in years. They think in big numbers that feel distant and abstract. That framing is the problem. Saving $36,500 a year sounds extreme. It sounds like sacrifice. It sounds like something other people do. But break it down. That same number is $100 a day. Now it feels different. Not easy, but possible. That shift is not mathematical, it's psychological. Your brain does not respond to yearly goals, it responds to daily actions. And wealth is not built in annual bursts. It is built through daily deposits that repeat whether you feel motivated or not. This is the concept most people never internalize. You are running a daily financial system. Every day, money flows in and out of your life. You either capture part of that flow or you let it pass through you. There is no neutral. At the end of each day, one question matters. Did your future get paid? Because wealth is not what you earn this year. It is the sum of every daily decision that either funds your future or consumes it. And that system is already running, whether you control it or not. Look at what $10 a day actually is. A takeout lunch you didn't plan, a rideshare for 3 miles instead of walking, 2 impulse items added to an Amazon cart at 11:30 p.m. Individually, they feel insignificant. But $10 a day is $3,650 a year. $20 a day is $7,300. $50 a day is $18,250. You are already moving these amounts through your life. The difference is whether you capture them. Now extend the timeline. $15 a day, invested consistently, compounds. Year 1, roughly $5,800. Year 10, over $80,000. Year 20, approaching $240,000. No promotion required, no breakthrough moment, just repetition. Here's the part most people miss. It's not just what you invest, it's what you stop leaking. Skip a $12 lunch 5 days a week. That's $60 a week. Over a year, $3,120. Redirect that into an index fund instead of a food delivery app. You did save money, you redirected a stream. Wealth is not created by extreme actions. It's created by controlling the small, daily flows that most people ignore. Because what feels small today becomes structural over time. If you want different results, you need different rules. Not motivation, not willpower, rules. Clear, repeatable, non-negotiable, start here. Measure wealth daily. If you don't see it, your brain won't optimize for it. Capture money before spending. What you leave at the end will always be zero. Automate everything. Discipline fails, systems don't. Look at your numbers every morning, not to judge, to stay aware. Label every expense. Intentional or reactive, there is no third category. Remove your triggers. If scrolling leads to spending, fix the environment, not your willpower. Replace consumption with skill building. Entertainment keeps you where you are, skills move you forward. Predecide tomorrow's behavior. Decisions made in advance are cheaper than decisions made under pressure. Increase your daily capture, not your lifestyle. Income grows. Most people upgrade expenses, you upgrade assets. And finally, build identity, not I'm trying to save. I'm someone who builds wealth. These rules are not complex, but they are uncomfortable. Because they force you to see what your current system is actually producing. And once you see it clearly, you can't unsee it. Look at what ownership actually costs, not the price tag, the usage. A $2,500 Peloton bike sits in the corner. Used 40 times before it became a coat rack. That's $62 per ride, not including the $44 monthly subscription still charging your card. Now look at your streaming stack: Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Disney+. About $80 a month. That's $960 a year. Most nights, it runs in the background while you scroll your phone. You're not paying for content, you're paying for noise. Or the daily coffee habit, a $6 latte, 5 days a week. $30 a week, $1,560 a year. That's 156 days of $10 daily investing, gone. None of these purchases are extreme, that's the point. They don't feel like financial decisions, they feel like routine. But routine spending builds a system, and that system quietly decides where your money ends up. This is where most people lose control, not through big mistakes, through small, repeated expenses that never get questioned. Because when something feels normal, you stop measuring it, and what you stop measuring starts owning you. Your behavior is not random. It follows patterns your brain is trying to protect. Start with avoidance. When you don't look at your accounts, stress builds in the background. Cortisol rises, your brain flags money as a threat, so you avoid it more. That avoidance creates a loop. You don't look, so you don't adjust, so the numbers get worse. So the stress increases, and when stress increases, your brain looks for relief. Relief often comes in the form of spending. A quick purchase, a small reward, a momentary escape. That's reactive spending. Now add loss aversion. A $300 monthly transfer feels painful. You see the drop, you feel the loss, so you delay it or skip it. But a $10 daily transfer, it barely registers. Same $300 over a month. Different emotional response. This is the leverage point. You don't need more discipline. You need to design around your psychology. Daily awareness removes emotional charge. Small automated actions bypass resistance. Over time, the numbers stop feeling like judgment. They become data. And once money becomes data, you can finally make rational decisions. You don't fix your finances in a weekend. You build a system that installs itself over time. Week 1 is simple. Every morning, before email, before news, open your banking app. Look at 3 numbers: checking, total debt, investments. No analysis, just observation. 60 seconds, that's it. Week 2, add the first transfer. Set up an automatic daily move. $5, $10, something that feels almost invisible. It must be painless or it won't last. Week 3, add awareness to spending. At night, scroll through today's transactions. Label each one, intentional or reactive. 2 minutes, no judgment. Week 4, invest in your earning power. 15 minutes a day, learning something that increases your value. Not random content, targeted growth. Week 5, take control of tomorrow. Before bed, plan your next day's decisions. What will you spend? What will you avoid? Be specific. This sequence matters. Most people try to change everything at once. They fail by week 3. You build one layer at a time, because a system that grows slowly is the only system that survives. Most people are not stuck because they lack income. They're stuck because they're trapped in a loop. It starts quietly. You avoid looking at your accounts. You spend without tracking. You feel the pressure build, so you distract yourself, often by spending more. Avoid, spend, stress, repeat. That loop compounds, not financially at first, psychologically. Each cycle lowers awareness. Each cycle increases dependence on income. Each cycle removes optionality. Now compare that to a different loop. You look at your numbers every morning. You capture money before it can be spent. You review your behavior at night. You adjust the next day. Observe, capture, adjust, repeat. This loop also compounds, but in your favor. Small daily corrections replace large monthly regrets. A $10 mistake gets fixed tomorrow, not buried for 30 days. Over time, the gap widens. One system makes you reactive, the other makes you deliberate. One system drains your future slowly, the other funds it quietly. And after enough repetition, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. At some point, the numbers stop being the focus, not because they're small, but because they've already done their job. The daily transfers, the quiet adjustments, the habits no one sees. They build something underneath your life, a gap between what you need and what you earn. That gap changes everything. You stop asking, "Can I afford this?" You start asking, "Is this worth my time?" You stop needing every paycheck to land perfectly. You stop negotiating your life around bills. Work becomes a choice, time becomes flexible, decisions become cleaner. From the outside, nothing looks dramatic. No sudden upgrade, no visible signal. But internally, the structure is different. Your life is no longer fully consumed by maintenance. And that is what most people misunderstand. Wealth is not the house, not the car, not the things that can be photographed. Wealth is the number of days you can say no, without financial consequences. It's optionality, and optionality is built the same way every time. one day at a time.